Welcome to Winning with the Burns, a podcast for highly ambitious people who have a burning desire to learn what it takes to win at a high level. Hey guys, thanks for joining us again on another edition of Winning with the Burns. You know, Nick, today I want to talk about, our past and our business, how we kind of got in the business and what we actually really do. Because there's a lot of people that ask me, what is it that you actually do? What is Burns Marketing?
Yeah.
You got in the biggest business back August of 2003.
Yeah, when we started these podcasts, it was obviously the title of it's Winning. I mean, you'll see so many different businesses, different people's situations that we'll have on the podcast going forward. But I think we need to do more of these types of podcasts where we're talking about, what we do. Because, guys, what we do is, to me, it's one of the greatest opportunities in the country, even from a part-time standpoint. Even though I didn't start part-time, I started full-time, but I've been in the business 19 years, and it's forever changed my life. When I graduated from college, I wanted to do the corporate thing, and it was just, I saw the writing on the wall. I didn't want to be in that world. I did it for about 8 months, and like I've shared before, I had a gentleman share it casually with me. Hey, man, you could, make X amount working X, 3 days a week doing what we do, and I rode with him. And went to a house and saw what it was that he did, and hey, I was all in. I didn't have to see this fully drawn out business plan of, what our business model was. It was at the right time. I was looking to make a change, and I dove all in. I remember telling somebody this recently when I took my insurance test. Now you do it all online. You go at your own pace. It's all structured to where you can, take your time and go through the course. Because for what we do, you've got to have an insurance license. And it's very cheap now. It's like $39 to do. But when I took my course, I went down to Columbus, Georgia, and I had to sit in a classroom for 2 days, for 2 weekends in a row. And I'll never forget, there was a gentleman asked me, he said, what kind of insurance are you going to be selling? And I looked at him, I said, man, I don't know. All I know, I'm going to make $1,500 a week. And he just kind of looked at me like I was crazy. He said, son, you need to know what you're getting into. And I said, and it kind of freaked me out because I was like, man, what's he talking about? It was almost like he planted a negative seed, but I was just one of those that saw the opportunity, or like, should I say saw the opportunity. I was looking for a change. And I know there's so many people out there right now that aren't happy where they are. They're frustrated. They know that there's more out there. And let me tell you, there is more out there. But I jumped in 2003 and have never looked back.
You didn't really see the opportunity. You were really running for something.
I was ready. Yeah, I was ready.
You were looking for an out. You weren't really looking for a business. You
right.
really wasn't looking for an opportunity, so to speak. You were looking for an out. You were running from something. What is it, the old saying? People run away from something a lot harder and faster than they'll actually go run to an opportunity.
Absolutely. Yeah. I was just looking for a change, and I look back at it, and you don't know what you don't know. And, the old saying is passion on fire is better than intelligence on ice. And I've learned through the last 19 years, the more you think about something, don't get me wrong, you got to have strategic planning and have some sort of a plan. But our business is so good to the standpoint of, man, it's like recently over the holidays, people ask, is business slow down for you guys over Christmas break? And I said, man, there's really no slow time in our business. If you go to work, you're going to make money, because people need what we offer. It's life insurance, guys. Everybody needs it. But yeah, I wasn't looking for no big time opportunity. No, I wasn't happy where I was. I thought there was the path that I wanted to go on. I did it for 8 months, and man, I knew that wasn't right. That there's something about your gut, something about your feeling, and I knew something wasn't right.
And, I was driving a dump truck working for your father-in-law, putting down asphalt. I thought I was, going to change the world with a shovel. And you said, man, why don't you do this 3 days a week? You can get double what you make now. So for me, it was more of a part-time opportunity. I'll work Monday through Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'll go play in the dirt with the toys and, put down asphalt. And, you were like, yeah, you're not going to work. You're not going to do that too long.
Yeah.
Because what we did, it was like, well, if I just work one more day.
Yeah.
Well, if I just do this, I put more time in, invest in this. So I started in February of 2005. I was the first quote unquote person that you brought in the business and hired. And real quick, you and I kind of looked at it and said, we kind of can do this business. And there was no strategic planning back then for us.
Yeah.
It was, let's just go. It was because we had a guy that brought us in the business, and all he did was work.
Yeah.
He taught us how to go to work. There wasn't all this, all these fancy little business models and these, PowerPoint presentations. It was, here's some people to go see, to go help, go see them.
Yeah. And I shared with the individual that brought us in the business, we're going to have him on a podcast, going forward one day. But I even told him, I said, it wasn't like he taught us how to work. He showed us, and he set the example by going to work. And I think that's the biggest thing is so many people will tell you what to do, but then won't do it, and that's what we did. We worked. We went to work every week, and we didn't have no, sit in 12 houses, you're going to make X. We didn't have that dialed in. We just knew if you went to work and worked your leads all the way through, you were going to be profitable. And, I was in the business probably, 15 months before I hired my first agent. I didn't know you could hire anybody, and then when we started bringing people into the business with us, it was, when I say hiring, it's showing people the opportunity, because we're 100% 1099. We don't offer benefits or anything like that. If you're looking for benefits, this isn't the place. I haven't had benefits for 20 years or 19 years that I've been in the business, but it's such a great opportunity for somebody that is willing to put in the time, willing to be committed. Because, I hope that we don't hit a recession in America. A lot of people feel like we've been through one over the last, 6 months. I hope we don't. But our business is recession proof. If you look back even in the 30s, it was, alcohol, tobacco, funeral homes, and insurance that survived always. And our business is, that as long as I've been in, it's always been recession proof.
Yeah. So going back to the day when we would go visit families, we had people who requested information. Yep. They requested some coverage, and we went and go see the people. You talk about the gentleman that brought us in the business. He taught us to look for ways to go to work. Yeah. There's so many people out there that look for ways not to go work. It's like, how can I get rich quick? How can I create some content? Maybe nowadays that we live in is, let me create some content and show people how to create a business. Well, are you not doing that business? Yeah. Are you not in a business model? What is it? A guy that we listen to talks about, if a guy makes X amount of percent off of teaching you how to build a business, yeah, and he's not making that money in a business, yeah, you need to run.
Yeah, he says, if there's somebody making more than 10% of their income off teaching you how to do business, he said, run from them. Yeah. He said, because if they were that good, they would be running their own businesses. And it's so true. There's no secret sauce in our business, except to go to work. There's no casualness to this. But yeah, man, it's been really good for us over the years. We've always worked leads. We're lead junkies. No cold calls. If I had to do cold calls, and for people that don't know what cold call is, it's just drumming up your own business every day, waking up every morning and saying, who can I talk to help with insurance? We don't have that. We work qualified leads where people have been, sent a letter, sent a card, applied online, and we call them up. It's really that simple. They filled out something, showed interest in life insurance, and we call them up. There's nothing more complicated than that.
They have a problem, and we try to create a solution for that problem. And it's not for everybody. The people that request coverage, we don't help every family that we talk to, So let's talk about how we pivoted back. We were face to face. We traveled, and the reason we traveled back in the day was we went where people return cards to us. There's only so many people in a geographical location that you can see in a limited amount of time. So what we did back in the day, we went to different counties throughout the state of Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee, North Carolina, Alabama. We went to different counties. Well, COVID happened. A lot of people were very skeptical coming to the house. Gas prices got up. Back, February 21, we got a phone call about, why don't you guys try to do this model? But I want you to do it virtually. Yeah. And being able to pivot virtually, I think, has really made us more efficient because I don't have to rely on traffic. I don't have to rely on time riding down the road. I'm able to help people from our desk.
Yeah. Well, if you talk about the efficiency, you're able to hire somebody that can do this part-time as well. Before, when we would bring somebody to come work with us, and it'd be, hey man, you're only going to work 3 days. And that sounds part-time, because it really is, because there's 7 working days in a week. But you would have to do it full time. It's part-time, but you got to do it full time, because you had to travel. You had to be willing to go to where the leads are. With this that we have now, we were able to bring a guy on our team that's a childhood friend that, is an ex-high school baseball coach. He told me, he said, man, I'm waking up. I have the afternoons now. I'm free. I'm like, what am I going to do with myself? So he's going to be able to, a day or 2 a week, be able to do what we do. We do ours, 3.5 days a week, virtually. He's a full-time teacher. He's going to be able to do this a day or 2 a week in the afternoons after he gets out of school, and, add a good amount of income to his family.
And there's so much more than just life insurance that we do.
Yeah.
And it's life insurance. We help people with the coin phrase mortgage protection. Somebody buys a house, they refinance a house, they want to make sure their spouse is not left with that debt when they pass this world. But we also do a lot of other stuff like debt-free, helping people become debt-free, retire their debt, becoming debt-free in half the amount of time, and have where they can use compounded interest versus paying compounded interest. We help people with retirement protection. People that retire, they want to get out of the market. They don't want the stock market to go down and they lose thousands of dollars. So we're able to put them into a vehicle using a life insurance product where it protects it to where they cannot lose a dime. So the floor is zero with them.
Yeah.
So there's so much more than just when you say life insurance, that we do.
Yeah. And if you're sitting there, because it could be all Greek to you when you think of life insurance, just like the property and casualty world is Greek to me. I don't know anything about car insurance. I just know I pay this and what's my deductible, right? Yeah. I have a homeowner's insurance policy. It's paid through my escrow. I have it. I've never looked at my homeowner's insurance policy. Why? Because I trust the agent that wrote it, right? And it's the same thing in what we do. When you think of life insurance, you think, if I die, this is what I get. But, you don't have to have any experience to do what we do. Matter of fact, we would rather you not have any experience whatsoever, because we can show you a simple way for you to help make money for your family.
I was talking to someone this week, and they were saying, what are some attributes of people that do very well with you? Yeah. And I said, well, number one, work ethic. You have to go work. Number two, somebody that has grit. Number three, somebody that takes rejection, because you will fail in this business. Today I was listening to Denzel Washington. He was giving a commencement speech. And this is an old one, but he was talking about failing. It's okay to fail. And he talked about a great story about how he didn't get a part, but 30 years later, he wound up writing a play in the same location where he got denied a part when he was younger. So he related it to when you fail, you have to learn. What do you need to work on? And that's what it is in our business, is when you don't help a client, how do you learn from that failure by not helping that client? And we do a lot of training. We do more training than we've ever done.
Our people are overtrained. I mean, they're fully equipped to be able to do what we do, but you're right. The ones that, you look at a leaderboard, thinking back over the last 19 years, different conferences, yearly, Christmas parties, end of the year, we're going to Dallas, Texas here in February. You'll get to see what everybody did with the company that we work with, in 22 did. We'll have a leaderboard, because the scoreboard matters, but the ones that are at the top of the leaderboard are the ones that put in the time, the ones that, just wanted to win. And that's the big, to me, like you said, work ethic. I think you could have stopped at work ethic.
Yeah.
If you're willing to put in the time and stay committed to it. You can't, it's tough to casually do what we do, because you will face some frustration. But I think that's what makes you is going through the struggles, going through. It's like I was training a guy yesterday, and he said, man, I love your boldness with the client. He said, you didn't do it in an arrogant way or a way that was just, mean. He said, but you're very bold and told her the truth. I said, man, all that comes from is being in so many homes over the years, and people tell me, well, we just want to think about it, knowing that they're 65 years old, 70 years old, and they have no life insurance. How much longer are you going to think about it, right?
Yeah.
You know, I said, but people, you know, what we do is a one sit close. It's not like we're going to, you know, call them up and then call them up again, send them a little card, encouraging them, you know, send them coffee, send them donuts. It's a one sit close. And, you know, that was just experience, being bold with people and telling them the truth.
Well, it's confidence in knowing your craft.
Yeah.
Like you know that you're actually truly helping them. I've seen you on calls. If you know you really can't bring value and help that client, you know, you don't get frustrated because you're like, you know what, there's really no value there that I can bring to the table, you know? So I know there's a lot of people out there also that are like, well, I do want part-time, but is there an opportunity full-time? Is there really some merit to this? Can I really grab a hold to this? And to your point, that work ethic, give me somebody that will work. They don't need to be the best talker. Just somebody that says, what's the job description? This is what you do. I'll go work.
Yep. You know, especially being virtual, you know, like you explained earlier, we would have to go within an hour, sometimes 5 hours from LaGrange to go to work every week, because we work leads where we mail them a letter, they respond. You can't mail the same area every 30 days, every 60 days. It has to be within a 90-day period, or your pulls will be so bad that your leads go up to where they're unaffordable. With what we do now, we can work anywhere in the country, you know, and, you know, we're so fortunate, the company we work with, we don't have to worry about leads. You know, I have a standing lead order of 40 a week, and they come to me every week. So I'm able to do what I do. That's what I love about the company we're with now is it's a business model to where we can go in, roll up our sleeves, and just go to work.
Yeah.
We don't have to figure out strategic mailing. Like we would mail 60 days in advance,
Yeah.
Figure out, accounting, all this other stuff. We can just simply bring people in, teach them how to do what we do, and bring people in, teach them how to do what we do. It's really that simple.
Yeah. It's tough.
It's tough.
But
yeah.
But we try to keep it simple because business is tough enough. And, when you put a lot of confusion, I think I read a line the other day. It says, when you can keep confusion out of your organization, that's when you can progress and grow as a organization, as a business.
Yeah.
You have to keep confusion out because the old saying, what do confused people do?
Nothing. You want to keep things simple, and that's what we've always done. There's so many different ways to do our business. I mean, there's a lot of different insurance agencies just here in LaGrange, Georgia, and so many of them are doing so well. And there's so many different ways to quote unquote skin a cat. You got to believe in what you do, and the way we feel like we do it is we try to keep it as simple as possible, and so we can bring people into the business to make money for their families. I mean, I see so many people out there that are doing different businesses part-time, and the amount of time that they're putting into it, I'm like, man, if I could just show you, if you put that amount of time in this, what you could do, so I think we're in a great opportunity to help people. I'll tell you, I go to the grocery store every week, and every time that bill, they tell me what I owe, and before I put my card in there, all I think is, how are American families doing it right now? I mean, it costs a lot of money to live right now. I just had a daughter turn 16. I got 3 more that are coming up. We have something to where you can take care of your family.
Yeah, you can make some extra money.
That's right.
If you want to change a career, you can certainly do that. Years ago, people would get a part of these different organizations, and it really wasn't about the money. It was about being a part of something.
Yeah.
And what we have a culture to where every day we get on a Zoom call and we speak. We do some training. We do something. And that attraction factor, because you're listening to people that are getting it done. You're not listening to people that 10 years ago that, hey, I sold this way. This is how I did it.
What we used to do.
Yeah. This is how I used to do it, right? You're talking to someone who yesterday, I had that same situation, Nick. This is what I did.
That's right.
Had that same situation last week. Let me tell you how I helped that client. So you're getting front row training from people. And you talked about the leaderboard earlier, and I get cracked up when I say this because number one, when you look at overall, like you said, when we went to conferences, when you see the leaderboard, everybody looks at number one. They're like, oh, he's so awesome. He is his presentation is phenomenal. Number one, he's done that presentation a lot more than
Yeah.
number two have. So only difference between the top guy and the bottom guy is that top guy has got more no's.
That's
That
it.
top guy has contacted more people than the bottom guy. He's not more talented. He has just went through more reps. So therefore he's learned more. He's got more no's,
Yeah.
and he's got his craft down. And he's got his presentation down to really bring value to a client.
Yeah. You know, again, I think if somebody's out there that is scared to leave a salary, leave their career and doesn't want to jump full time into it. I was fortunate in the situation I was in. I felt like I was making good money. I just bought a house, but I believed in myself. I was like, I can do this. But I think the part-time opportunity is a great way to start. It's a great way to start, and get your feet wet a little bit, and then I couldn't tell you the amount of people, once they start making those deposits, all of a sudden that belief level comes up.
Yeah.
Because like, this is real. I helped somebody and I got paid to do it. That's what I love about what we do is you're helping people and you're making a living for your family.
What's belief level? Do you believe in yourself, number one? And then number two, do you believe in the leadership that you're going to hook up with, that they're going to be able to take you where you want to go? So if someone's out there, Nick, right now and says, you know what, I want to know more about what they got going on. What would they do? How would they contact us?
Yeah, we have our website, burnsmarketinggroup.com. Reach out to us and we'll give you the ins and outs of it. It's very, very simple what we do, and we can plug you in and you can see all the other people that are, winning at what we do.
I encourage people to come to our office, see people, what we do and how we do it, in our office, because you can do it from the comfort of your own home.
Yeah.
But we have our office because it just brings a good culture. And it's, for me, with 4 kids at home, it would be tough for me to do it at home. So it's easy for me to go to the office. It means when I'm at the office, I'm working at the office. Guys, if you're interested, hit us up on social media, look us up on the website. We'd love to talk with you more about how we can help you make some extra money and maybe even a career change for you and your family.